drop of the green. Bensy, not a great start. DiGregorio on the inside. Byron Daly trying to sneak out to the right of Bensy. Bensy hits the door, and that is problems there.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, that is bowling shoe ugly.
That is
Schlosser,
absolute carnage.
Bonomi, Schlosser, Flaum, Such, McDougall, DeMade. Logan Spath involved. Meanwhile, Christopher Hill leading. João DiGregorio looking out to the right here. Hill will fall back into line. We'll certainly take a look at that momentarily, but DiGregorio on the march here early in the going.
Caleb Bensy looks inside of Daly as well. Daly, a touch of the tire barrier, has Engrave all over him now as well. Caleb Bensy up to third.
Well, we thought turn one was going to be the big problem. They didn't even make it to turn one.
There's the green flag waves. Oh, looks like we had a couple of people. Bobble on the start. Kevin Bonomi, I think, spun the tires on the start. They got 2, 3, and 4 wide there for a moment, and he got together with somebody else. Couldn't quite tell who it was, but then it was just...
Lord have mercy.
I mean, that's crazy. This is just crazy. I mean, that's half the field right there. I think quite literally half the field. And Groff trying to protect the inside from Spencer into that next corner. Spencer with a big run here.
I'd say just let him have it. Give yourself the provisional pole for the for the feature race. Out of turn number 11, Christopher Hill. He's going to pull up to the line and win his first sprint race of the season. And will they make it this time? And will they make it through? Good jump for Groff on the outside. We'll have work to do to take over the top spot. Byron Daly with problems. He has dropped through the field.
Oh yeah, Daly, big problems. Navarre Luce was very slow on the outside wall as well.
Gavin Sanders tried to take second away from Groff. Groff held serve into one. Groff fading away from Spencer.
Side by side right around the top 10. McDougall, JJ Wayne, Cody Claiborne, they're all battling here.
DeFavis has dropped a few positions now.
Gavin Sanders really starting to get close to Jeff Groff.
Groff fading, already a second behind Spencer. Sanders knows that he has equal pace with Tiago Spencer. He needs to make this move sooner rather than later as they approach turn number 11.
It looks like Caleb Bensy has a problem in his toe to the pits.
Oh my gosh. Caleb Bensy can't buy luck of late. Spencer with a comfortable lead after the first circuit is complete. Groff, Sanders, Moda, and Engrave, the top 5. Yeah, Bensy is out of the race already.
Huge hit!
The tire barrier there. Not sure if he has a meatball, but that is not a good sign.
That was a huge hit for Groff. It couldn't tell. It looked like Sanders either did or nearly got into him. Had to slow down in a hurry.
Well, Sanders at this point needs to be pushing the panic button to get around Jeff Groff. No meatball flag for Groff, but that doesn't mean that something isn't amiss on the front end of that car. That was a huge hit. Oh, and he hit it again!
Looks like he may have just missed his braking point. He does, slams into the tire barriers there.
The last AM standing. It has a meatball flag and it's going back to the pits.
Engrave on his way out, got down into turn 1. Gavin Sanders absolutely blitzed it in there side by side. Sanders took the spot, but it was close to disaster.
In a podium position here. Oh, Wang bends it. Wang is around in the middle of the track and is spun directly into the path of Gavin Sanders. Wang tried to whip a 360 and now I think has hit an oncoming car as well. It has gone from bad to worse for JJ. Gavin Sanders has lost second. Hunter Engrave is through. What has happened? I was showing a 2-second gap between those two.
I don't see an off track or I guess there's really no off tracks here, but no incidents, I suppose, for Sanders, but certainly slow.
Well, as that continues behind, Thiago Spencer around the final turn, and it is a revenge race here to take checkered flag number 2 of the season. Thiago Spencer takes Long Beach. The final race of the inaugural season of the Formula Super Series. It is a night of reflection, of appreciation, and of championship celebration. Although all of the championships, spoiler alert, have already been decided. So above all else, tonight is a night for racing, as God intended here, with the Super Formula at one of the great circuits of all time, Suzuka International Grand Prix. The 10th and final event of the inaugural season of the Formula Super Series from Suzuka International Circuit is around the turn on turn 200.
A blind night that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Broken art open here, Rob. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
An empty plastic bottle would give you 50 cents. A soda can, 60 cents. A used food container, 80. Wondering why I know this? Because that's my job. I am a trash picker at my school.
Harry, the trash prince is on a roll today. And how is your trashy affair with Bella coming? She lets you kiss her with that stink?
Their words don't bother me. They don't know why I do what I do. And my secret. I edge close to my class when I hear Bella and her friend talking.
You can't be serious, Bella. You want me to break up with him for you?
I would do it myself if his poverty didn't give me the creeps.
You are unbelievable.
I come face to face with Bella's friend. She knew I heard the conversation and couldn't meet my eyes. She hands me the new phone I bought for Bella and walks away. I saved for months to buy her this phone. I walk down the empty corridor with a heavy heart, pick the phone out of the box, slip my SIM in, and switch it on. When... Harry Parker, you have passed the poverty test? You are now the heir to Parker family's billions worth of assets?
If Harry is a billionaire, why does he work as a trash picker? What is his big secret? Why did he not reveal his billionaire status to Bella? To know more, listen to the audio series Destiny Reloaded, only on Pocket FM.
Welcome back to Turn 200's coverage of the Formula Super Series from Suzuka International Circuit, the season finale of the inaugural outing here for FSS. My name is Tommy Cook. The one and only the GOAT, Mr. Matt Williamson, will be alongside momentarily. Welcome back for the second time in Turn 200 history to the Mie Prefecture of Japan. One of my personal favorite circuits, objectively one of the greatest circuits of all time, Suzuka International. Tonight it is the Full Monty, the 3.6-mile, 18-turn circuit here, complete with the over-under out of turn number 9, host of a Super Formula Grand Prix since 1973, and the current home of the Japanese Grand Prix for Formula 1. Track record here, of course, held by Sir Lewis Hamilton at a 130.983. Super Formula record here set by Naoki Yamamoto. Back in 2020, it's a 137.850. As you get a look at the wonderful layout of this circuit and its beautiful surroundings, right on the southeastern coast bordering the Pacific Ocean, we'll take you for a full AI lap around this 18-turn circuit. If you've never been around, you're in for a treat. Down the long pit straight, a first turn complex very reminiscent of some of the other Japanese tracks that we've featured this season. The fast sweeping right-hander, a quick jaunt into this wild S-curve section from turn 3 all the way through to turn 7. If you mess up one of these turns, more than likely you're going to mess up several trying to correct yourself and get yourself back on track, sometimes quite literally. Out of turn 7 we go around the Dunlop curve. A right-hand kink here into turn number 8, Degner curve, and that will take you straight into the right-hander in 9. Past the Red Hot Chili Peppers we go under the bridge. Another long straight into a quick right-hand kink in turn number 10, and the big slowdown here for the left-hand 11 hairpin. Sweeping right here, all considered one turn, turn number 12. One of the hardest corners to judge, at least in my opinion here, this double left in 13 and 14, the spoon curve. And if you don't get a good exit out of 14, you are going to be down on speed big time. A long trek down to a high-speed left-hander in turn number 15. Stay on the loud pedal until we approach turn number 16, the KCO Triangle. 16, 17, and 18. This is the big danger spot on the course here. Going to be a lot of contact through the final turns and back down to the pit straightaway. And that is a full lap around Suzuka. We will bring you to the action momentarily, but first, some exciting things on the horizon. The Formula Super Series, this is the final race for them of their inaugural season, but now the Formula Racing Series and the Formula Indy Series have a message just for you. Well, how about that? That is FIS back March 14th, starting off at Circuit Zandvoort. That is exciting stuff. Unfortunately, we don't have the coverage here. They're running on Thursday nights. It's safe to say our Thursday nights are pretty well locked up for 2024. But that'll be over at our friends in Raceverse. Go subscribe to their channel if you're not already. They have supremely high quality open wheel racing multiple days a week, including FIS, which will be back. Very exciting stuff there for the Formula Racing Series family of championships, this one and FIS under the umbrella here. And speaking of championships, it's all done and dusted here ahead of tonight's season finale. We'll welcome back in Mr. Matt Williamson, and it's our second trip to virtual Suzuka in channel history, and it's always exciting to get back here, at least for me anyway.
Yeah, no, Suzuka is a great course. It's one that we enjoy driving on. That we've only had it on the channel the one time, so yeah, very excited to have Suzuka back here in action on Turn 200, and no better way to do it than the season finale for the Formula Super Series. But Tommy, these drivers not racing for a championship any longer. It is locked up.
Absolutely. Congratulations to all 3 of our champions. Well, I guess technically all 5 of our champions. Of course, the Drivers' Championship for the Pro Driver standings belongs to João de Gregorio with a 1 feature victory this season, but multiple times a sprint winner and always in the top 5 this season. João de Gregorio wins the Pro Drivers' Championship. We don't have a graphic for it, but Navarre Luce, who is not here in action tonight, is your AM Driver champion for season number 1. So congratulations to Navarre. And the team championship also belongs to João de Gregorio's team, Team Wave Italy. Wave Italy also with João is Thiago Spencer and Northern Moda. So they win the team championship. So all 3 of the trophies that were up for grabs here tonight are already grabbed. There's nothing else to decide except for 1 more sprint and 1 more feature.
Yep, and yeah, kind of crazy. I mean, I don't think we've ever had a championship wrapped up that early in any of the seasons for all of the numerous leagues that we have broadcasted for. So a bit of a different experience for us here on a league season finale night, but I mean, just look at the work that Wave Italy has put in getting the team championship, plus João getting the drivers' championship. Incredible stuff this season.
Absolutely. And also want to point out as well, first of all, hello to everybody watching. Second of all, if you're interested in joining FIS and the FRS group now, join our Discord, and we'll get you pointed in the right direction to join theirs to get signed up for FIS. And for whenever the next season of FSS is, we have a rough timetable, but whenever it is, it'll be right back here on Monday nights on Turn 200. So exciting stuff to come here for the Formula Racing Series, and 1 more sprint and 1 more feature for the Formula Super Series in its inaugural season of competition. Thiago Spencer, last week's feature winner, and Caleb Bensi, 2 times a feature winner this season, but no luck in the back half of the calendar. He starts on the outside of the front row. Byron Daly and Gavin Sanders, multi-time feature winners themselves. João de Gregorio, the season champion, starting in 5th. Last week's sprint winner and the only other driver to win at Suzuka here on Turn 200, Christopher Hill, starting at 6th. It's Zach Flaum with a pit lane start but qualifies P7. Nagisa Yoshikawa, Jeff Groff, and Nick Goyette, your top 10. Tanner DeFavis, Christian Jasper, Dakota DeMay, Cody Claiborne, and Drew Such, the top 15 qualifiers. 25 drivers here tonight. Got a minute till the green, Mr. Matt Williamson. Track conditions and what we're expecting here for the sprint.
Looking at track conditions here, pretty good track conditions. 85 degrees is the track temperature, 77 is the ambient temperature. So a cool day, should provide good racing here for the season finale of the Formula Super Series, the inaugural season. You should know it by now. We got a 12-minute sprint coming up here right away, and then a 45-minute feature thereafter. No fast repairs. They do have 200 seconds of overtake in both of these races. 17x drive-through penalty, 25x will get you disqualification.
Expecting, I think, 7 laps here for the sprint, if my math is correct. It usually isn't. But I don't know, about a minute 37-second lap here. We're under the actual track record here in sim qualifying. So congrats, I guess, to Thiago for setting the new track record. Lights are blinking at the line. We're getting ready to rock and roll here at Suzuka. Spencer and Bensi underway. Not a great start for Byron Daly. He plummets through the running order. They're 4 wide further back, just outside of the top 10, as Spencer leads him into 1 and 2. Bensi looking for a crossover. Spencer going to shut the door. And that's actually Sanders and Bensi battling there for second. Sanders going to sneak through, take the spot. De Gregorio and Hill, the top 5 now, all chasing Thiago Spencer through the S's.
And this is a very narrow track, especially starting out side by side. Oh, looks like Jasper into the grass, off track just for a moment. Doesn't lose any positions. Oh, Chris Valenzuela, he's off, hits the wall, and his race might be done.
Michael Costello, who had a pit lane start, I believe, also headed back to the pits.
Joao Di Gregorio looking to make a move on Bensi for third.
Into Spoon Curve. You want to get a good run here out of 14. A long way down and hard on the loud pedal here. All the way to turn 15, and you're going to stay on that loud pedal through the left-hander. Good drafting opportunity. Here's Di Gregorio closing the gap. Looking out to the left. We'll put him on the outside here for the KCO triangle. Elbows out, wheel to wheel. And wing to wheel as well, nearly. Di Gregorio going to stay in fourth. Bensi holds on to third. Sanders up to second on the opening lap, but it's Spencer with the lead.
Daly and Groff have been battling for the 7th position as well. They are side by side here into the sweeping right-handers. Daly comes out on top.
Hill was side by side with Di Gregorio, but Zhao holds on to the position for now. Hill will slap back into 5th. Byron Daly overcoming what was a really bad start there. Di Gregorio goes wide, and Hill going to go through now.
Yeah, big slip up for Di Gregorio. Hill goes through. Yoshikawa trying to put himself in that hole as well, but Di Gregorio able to fend off.
And to go back to Byron Daly there, fell outside of the top 10 on the standing start. He has struggled on a lot of the standing starts here this season. Really, the only places that he hasn't were Auto Club and Twin Ring Motegi, the 2 features that he won. Other than that, he has been on the struggle bus on the standing starts, but overcoming the early deficit pretty well here. Challenging for the 6th position on Yoshikawa. Sanders trying to track down Spencer. Got a 2.5 seconds to go for that. Gap starting to open up throughout the top 5. Here's the lunge around the outside. Daly going to take the spot the hard way.
Yeah, absolutely no fear there.
Oh, problems for Dan Miglin and Logan Spath. Spath around in the triangle. Miglin with a meatball flag is towed back to the pits.
Thiago Spencer opening up a gap up front over a 1.5 seconds right now.
Yeah, Spencer with a purple lap. It was almost 0.6 quicker than Gavin Sanders behind him. Caleb Bensi actually was the 2nd fastest driver on track. So Bensi tracking down Sanders.
Battle back here outside the top 10. Hunter Engrave looking for a way around DeFavis.
We've got Yuda in the chat cheering on Joao Di Gregorio as whoa.
Looked like contact there, and definitely contact between Engrave and DeFavis. Engrave had that thing all locked up and now has some damage to that front wing.
Definitely not the track you want any sort of wing damage, really any damage at all. One thing we haven't mentioned yet that will definitely come into play for the feature. High lateral loads at high speeds, high tire degradation. Gonna throw a wrench into things strategy-wise with the mandatory tire pit stop. Up front, Spencer, purple lap, 137.813. 200th slower than that is Gavin Sanders. So Sanders speed-wise closing in. And speaking of closing in, Joao Di Gregorio is all over Christopher Hill once again, headed into the S's.
Shout out to Jeff Mathis. Cheering on JJ Wang, I'm sure, and then Yuna cheering on the number 88 of Joao Di Gregorio, trying to run down Christopher Hill. Has gotten close a couple of times, but had let Hill through earlier after a small mistake. I'm trying to make good on it.
DiGregorio already has locked up both the drivers and team champion. Trying to find a way around Hill. Little factoid for you. Everybody that has won one race, one feature race that is, this season in Formula Super Series, has won 2, except for João DiGregorio.
Wow.
So he could make it 2s across the board if he were to walk away with the race trophy tonight. And that would be very satisfying for me, somebody that looks at the stat sheets a lot. Here he goes for a pass into turn 15, and DiGregorio will take the spot.
That's such a high-speed spot to make up positions, but it's one of the best on the course. You have to be brave through there.
Tiago Spencer continuing to open up the gap. Nearly 5/10 quicker than Gavin Sanders last time around. Gap is back to 2 seconds.
Going back to Engrave into Favis again. Engrave, even with a little bit of wing damage, is able to get around Tanner DeFavis up to 12th, but has a long ways to get up to 10th where he'd be able to start on the pole in the feature.
DeFavis made his debut last week at Long Beach, ran very well. Was 3rd quickest in practice earlier tonight. Did not get the qualifying effort he was looking for, I would imagine. And to start back in 11th, has fallen back 1 to 12th. Actually, make it 2 back to 13th, with Engrave getting through.
Engrave is starting to close in on McDougall, but Nick Goyette, who sits in 10th, is 3.5 seconds in front of those two.
Hunter Engrave, one of the great long-run drivers that we've seen in our time in sim racing. Of course, racing a Next Gen last night, he
put a whooping on us,
me.
didn't he?
Yeah. Lapped me while I was in 5th at Homestead, for crying out loud. João DiGregorio, problems! And he is going to be out of the sprint. That is hard contact there into a barrier. That was out of turn 15.
Didn't get a chance to see what happened there. We'll take a look back at the replay, but Byron Daly now to 5th is right behind Christopher Hill.
That was surprising, to say the least. That's going to... thankfully, he already had the championship wrapped up heading into tonight. Otherwise, I would imagine he'd be pretty worried.
Well, we've seen a couple of small mistakes from João here so far, but nothing major. But this one, the car starts breaking loose, and he goes to correct it and just overcorrects. Snaps right, and wall's pretty close to the track here, so ends up in hard into the wall. Sprint race is over. Gonna have to work his way through the field in the feature.
Well, I have 2 minutes for the warm-up and another 3 minutes and change here in the sprint itself to prepare for what is going to be a long run through the field to try and make it back to the front. Meanwhile, Byron Daly still hanging right here with Christopher Hill. That's the battle for 4th. Jeff Groff has closed in on Jasper for 7th. And Hunter Engrave and Sam McDougall wheel-to-wheel into the spoon. Engrave will take that spot, or rather McDougall will hang on to the spot for now. And Tanner DeFavis is joining the party.
Now here comes Daly looking around the outside. We've seen so many moves here. Oh, has a much better run. It looked like Hill spun the tires a bit there in the slow section.
2 laps to go. Gavin Sanders just ran the purple lap in 2nd.
Daly looking around the outside again. Hill really hanging tough right now.
I don't know if there's a preferred way to go through turn 2 side by side, but Byron Daly is going to come out ahead. Byron Daly up to 4th.
Jeff Groff got around Christian Jasper for 7th.
And now Engrave has gotten past McDougal as Yoshikawa just took a dip through the grass but doesn't lose any time. So Engrave into the top 10. That'll put him provisionally on the pole here. McDougal, DeFavis, and DeMade all pretty close together here.
Whenever there's one thing to watch in the Formula Super Series, there are about 5 things to watch, and we can never catch them all.
Well, luckily for the viewers, none of it is in the top 3. Spencer, Sanders, and Bensi will be coming to the white flag this time. They're all pretty comfortably separated from one another. Hill going to make another charge here on Daly and going to look to the outside into the KCO triangle. Daly going to send it about a car length deeper, and that will keep his advantage.
Thought Daly might get a little loose going over the turtle, but is able to stay patient, get the power back down.
Tiago Spencer, purple lap, last time by, 1:37.013. That's pretty zippy. Groff pulling away from Jasper, so he's looking pretty good to come home in 7th here. Hill fading a bit as well.
Here's this group outside the top 10. Everybody closed in together here. JJ Wang and Michael Costello are now right here with the group also.
Tiago Spencer headed to the KCO Triangle. After a feature win last week at Long Beach, it's a sprint win for Spencer. The sprint goes to Tiago Spencer. Sanders to 2nd. Bensi back to form in 3rd. Byron Daly, Christopher Hill, Nagisa Yoshikawa.
Contact!
That was DeMade.
DeMade got into DeFavis. DeFavis able to hang on to the spot, but JJ Wang will get around DeMade. DeMade's going to move back quite a few positions off of that.
Yeah, and he will not finish, so that should put him back in 19th for the start of the feature.
Tiago Spencer picking up right where he left off last week.
Okay, well, we've got a second here. Just want to point out that we have a video up right now for anybody that is interested. Putting out a lot of Daytona 500 related content this week, and we have just debuted our first and hopefully a long series here on Turn 200 called Turn 200's NASCAR Knockouts. Pretty excited with how, for it being the first one, how it turned out. And Matt Williamson was a contestant. To find out how Matt did, you're just going to have to go and watch. It's up right now. But wait until after, of course, we're done with the 45-minute feature here at Suzuka. Then you could go watch.
Great falling asleep content. I'm always looking for videos to fall asleep to. That's I would consider that falling asleep content. Just listen. You know, you can listen audio. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here.
No,
just go watch it.
I do appreciate what you're trying to say, and I agree. But also watch it while you're awake the first time, and then fall asleep to it.
Yeah,
the second.
For sure.
All right, cool.
Because I've watched it twice already, but I could fall asleep to it tonight.
Well, there you go. That's high praise. Thank you. TPCS 666 Tiago is the fastest driver Yes, in the past 3 races, pure domination. Absolutely. Tiago will have to start from 10th here with the inverts, but has done quite well in recent weeks. If only a couple of things had gone his way earlier this season, he might have been a threat to steal the title from his teammates. Regardless, Tiago looking pretty good here. Headed into the 45-minute feature. Should be about 28 to 30 laps, and this is how the field is going to stack up here. With the invert, Hunter Engrave finished 10th in the feature. That means that he will go to P1 here for the starting grid for the final feature of the season from Suzuka. Nick Goyette. How about Goyette here starting on the outside of the front row? Christian Jasper and Jeff Groff then will be on row number 2. It's Yoshikawa and Hill on row 3. Daly and Bensi on row 4, and the invert back to Sanders and Spencer. They start 9th and 10th. Sam McDougall and Tanner DeFavis, the first 2 out, they will line up on row 6. JJ Wang and Michael Costello on row 7. Zach Flam and Drew Such on row 8. Hugo Galaz, Cody Claiborne, row 9, and Dakota DeMade. And Dave Payton, the only AM in the field here tonight, so he will take top AM honors for the second time this season. He starts on the outside of row number 10. It's Valenzuela, Di Gregorio back in 22nd. Logan Spath and Dan Miglin with the 24th position. Drew White, I don't believe is here, so he will not take the feature's starting grid. Got 10 seconds left to go. Place your bets in the chat. It is about time to get rocking and rolling. Hunter Engrave, great on the long runs. He'll start at the front of this field. What can he do with clean air in front of him? Will the field survive turns 1 and 2? It's time to find out. The final green flag of the season at Suzuka.
Not a very good start for Engrave. He's going to fall back at least 3 positions. A huge wreck in the back.
Spath, Payton, Flaum, Costello all involved. As Goyette the leader, Jasper in second, Engrave back to third, Groff Hill the top 5. João Di Gregorio just outside of the top 10 here, starting in 21st.
Spencer trying to work his way through the field up to 7th right now, but nearly got pushed off the racetrack a couple of times, side by side, and now is
there
off.
Is Spencer. Spencer's off. Goyette was off for a moment as well. Goyette's still the leader, but Spencer going to drop back to 7th. Jasper side by side. Christopher Hill.
And now side by side for the lead.
Sam McDougall is spun. Here is the pass for the lead. Engrave to the point. Took a minute to recover there from a poor start from Engrave, but he is back to the front of the field. Goyette now and Groff in third. The draft train down the long straight into turn 15.
Oh, Jasper way off the track. Nearly got together with Yoshikawa.
Groff the long way around the outside.
Contact with Spencer.
That is a pretty big stack up there.
Oh, and Spencer is done. The wheel ripped off.
Zach Flaum also got a piece of that. Hunter Engrave leads a chaotic opening lap. Caleb Bensi with a slowdown penalty has dropped outside of the top 10. It is still not clear. Finally, it goes into turn 2. Oh, that's the prison wing.
My goodness.
Di Gregorio, goodness gracious.
Sanders gets absolutely plowed into after getting turned around.
I mean, that is the third big wreck here in the first lap and a quarter. Engrave, Groff, and Goyette. Hill, Yoshikawa, the top 5. Byron Daly in 6th. Hill looking for a move on Nick Goyette. Maybe into the hairpin here. That would be for 3rd. We have a lot to sort through here.
And Hill has amazingly so far been able to stay pretty clean through all of the chaos around him.
Yeah, he may be the only one. We'll see here. Headed into Spoon Curve. This is a move for a podium position. Goyette fighting hard here on the outside, but Hill going to take the spot, maybe. Goyette going to rally back here on the outside. This is Yoshikawa in the mix here as well now. And Hill did not get a great run out of 14, and you see the speed differential down the long straight. Hill pinned there on the bottom. Engrave up front, worried about none of this. Purple lap. Byron Daly, purple lap.
Hill now fighting back on Yoshikawa down the start-finish straight and gets it back. So Christopher Hill and Nagisa Yoshikawa have switched and flip-flop positions 2 or 3 times at this point now in the first couple laps. Here's Tanner DeFabis running down Christian Jasper, who undoubtedly has to have some sort of damage. He was involved in the incident with Thiago Spencer.
Goyette, Hill, Yoshikawa, and Daly all nose to tail, 3rd to 6th. They're battling for 7th behind them. Like you said, an ailing machine there for Christian Jasper. He piled into the wreck.
Here comes Daly, a brave move on Yoshikawa, and slides up in front. Yoshikawa had to hit the brakes pretty hard there for a moment.
Daly is moving with a purpose. And so is Christopher Hill. He wants to get away from Byron Daly.
Oh, and Goyette wide there.
Way wide. And
way wide.
Bury it off into the sand there. We'll lose 3 positions all the way back to 6 and maybe more as Jasper incoming.
Nick Goyette found his way to Eldora there through that turn.
Here's Daly now looking to the outside of Christopher Hill. Daly's had the pace. Engrave up front.
What an unbelievable opening few laps here.
We'll wait to see how this pass goes for Byron Daly, and he will make it with ease. And now I'd say this is as good as a window as we're going to get here to see what the hell just happened here on the first lap and a quarter.
I got to find them all first.
Well,
I mean, right from the jump, there was a massive incident farther back in the pack. So we'll go there for you first. Oh, and it looks like somebody just loses control of the car on the start, and it's like 4, 5, 6 wide there. And I believe this was Spath, Peyton, and maybe either Miglin or Drew White. Couldn't quite tell, but I mean, that had hardly gotten past the start-finish line at that point. Then as we continue, there's that off for Jasper that pushed him farther down the running order. And then here's the incident. Jasper trying to dive it in on Spencer, gets into Spencer, turns him around. Sanders ends up getting involved in this as well. There's contact between Jasper and Sanders on the outside there. Bensy involved. Everybody having to try and get slowed up. That happened in about the worst possible place for traffic to be behind you. That is such a tight section of the course. And a number of other incidents all throughout as well. I mean, Zach Flaum was off. DeMade was off at another point. I mean, just chaos all over the place. J.J. Wang, I think, was off as well.
So as we're back to real time here, Tanner DeFabis has gotten up to 6th around Nick Goyette, who's now under fire from Christian Jasper, who is under fire from Jowdy Gregorio. Byron Daly is flying as Jowdy Gregorio going to make a big pass there. A lunge to the inside into Spoon.
And Zhao, of course, had to start well at the back of all of this, so was able to stay out of the initial incident right at the very start. And then, certainly got slowed down by much of the chaos throughout the middle to the back of the field, but was able to survive it all at least, and now is letting his speed take care of the rest. Looking to get around Nick Goyette here for 7th.
And should be able to complete that by the time they get to turn 1. Engrave and Daly running first and third, with Groff in the middle. They keep trading purple laps back and forth. Daly pretty consistently, though, about a 10th and a quarter faster than the race leader. About 5 seconds behind, though.
Outside the top 10, DeMade, Claiborne, Hugo Glass, Chris Valenzuela, and Zach Flaum kind of pulling up on this group as well. All of them are pretty close together still. And to Jeff's point, JJ still in it. There are a lot of folks that have found their way off the racetrack, but don't really lose a ton of time. Oh, Hugo Galaz is going to go way wide there through the hairpin. That allows Valenzuela to get through.
So Di Gregorio up to 7th. He is tracking down Tanner DeFabis. That'll be for 6th. Byron Daly within 2 seconds now of Jeff Groff. That'll be for 2nd when that materializes.
And Hugo and Flaum touched wheels through a sweeping left-hander that forced Galaz wide. So Flaum's gotten through to 14th now. Here's the onboard with Zhao trying to get at least up into the top 5, if not up back into the podium by the end of this one.
And something tells me, at least for now, the purple laps are going to cool off for the race leaders. Like our crew chief Jeff mentioned, high deg here. Especially with all the bobbing and weaving that these drivers have had to do in the first few laps. A little bit of extra wear and tear already. Engrave comfortably up front. Daly closed it in on Jeff Groff, still about a second and a half to go. Christopher Hill hanging with him as well. And Di Gregorio trying to find a way around DeFabis here. Been searching around for the last lap or so.
Overtake on for Di Gregorio. Wants to make this pass badly.
The gap is closing. Bit of a blink there for DeFabis. Di Gregorio trying to open the door on the inside here. Maybe force a mistake, but it doesn't work. That was a bit sketch.
Certainly. We see a lot of folks, try to go to the outside to get into that corner. I think maybe Zhao thought DeFabis would do the same, but DeFabis was playing the defensive line there.
JJ Wang up to 9th. Yeah, that was a bit of a peekaboo in the right wing mirror.
It was a bit more than just a peekaboo, I think.
While these two are battling, they are closing in on Nagisa Yoshikawa. When they say that when you've got a 3-car dance, the chances of things ending well drastic go down.
Here goes Di Gregorio up the inside.
Ooh! Ran him a bit wide there. The pass felt inevitable.
Yeah, DeFabis, I think, was trying to turn down maybe for a crossover, but Di Gregorio's still there.
Very well positioned for the Season 1 champion, João de Gregorio, up to 6th from 21st on the starting grid.
By the way, great run for Jeff Groff right now, sitting in 2nd. Byron Daly trying to run him down.
Like I said, last week at Long Beach, it's setting up for a typical Jeff Groff night. Get top 10 in the feature, get yourself a really good invert, and hang at the front of the field for most of the race. Unfortunately, Groff out early while running in 2nd last week at Long Beach, but has survived the chaos, has stayed in 2nd. Daly closing in rather quickly. Even still, 2.5 seconds back to Christopher Hill. So Groff looking pretty good.
Outside the top 10 just. Cody Claiborne's going to get around DeMade. That would be for 11th. And Flaum, looking to continue to move forward here, has slowly been making progress on Valenzuela, DeMade, and Claiborne. Zhao now starting to close in on 5th in the way of Nagisa Yoshikawa.
Daly continuing to close on Jeff Groff. The move wasn't quite close enough there as, speaking of Di Gregorio, there he goes on Yoshikawa. But Daly, now they are bobbing and weaving down the long straight here. A double move there for Groff. Trying to fight hard to keep 2nd. Not the first time these two have battled this season. Of course, Daly had to pass Groff in the closing laps at Auto Club to take his first feature win and his first 9 of competition here with FSS. And these two are battling, giving chase to the race leader, Hunter Engrave, who is over 4 seconds ahead of this duo.
All things looking up for Hunter Engrave this week so far. Took a unbelievably commanding win around Homestead last night. Now looking at a commanding lead around Suzuka in the Formula Super Series as well.
Engrave had great pace there in the sprint. Took full advantage of a 10th place finishing position to start on the invert pull for the feature, and he has walked away.
And it wasn't easy at the beginning of this race either. On the start, lost 3 or 4 positions, but used his speed to get through them within half a lap quickly. And here comes Byron Daly.
Not as much of a fight this time. Groff going to let Byron Daly have it on the inside into 1, and Byron Daly up to 2nd. And as much as we've... Oh, go ahead.
JJ Wang down the start-finish stretch. Gets to the inside of Nick Goyette, so JJ's up to 8th now.
And lap 11 is on the board. That means pit window is open. So anytime between now and the 2 to go lap, Chris Valenzuela immediately in. I'm sure damaged in one of the 3 opening lap wrecks.
Yeah, still not totally surprising to maybe see some people come in a little bit earlier, though. I would expect to see at least a few here in the next 2 or 3 laps.
I was going to say, once we get closer to the halfway mark of the race, I would imagine pits are going to be lighting up. If you could split this one in half, it seems like the best race for it this season. Daly with a whole lap in clean air here. We'll see what kind of pace he's got on Hunter Engrave. Daly was pretty fast here to open this race up. Just had to do a little bit of work in traffic. But nothing but clean air in front of Daly now. Oh, purple lap for Daly. Absolute blitz. 137.932. A 138.3 for Engrave. So Daly is quite a bit faster here. It's the only lap in the 137s thus far in the feature. Here comes Christian Jasper. Speculate that there's some damage on that car, so he is in from the top 10. Oh, we don't have to speculate. He handed out a pile driver on the opening lap. There is definitely damage on that car. DeFavis and Yoshikawa drawing nearer to one another. That'll be for 6th. Yoshikawa has the spots. Drew Such is in from outside the top 10 this time.
Zach Flaum closing in on 11th. Dakota DeMade. That's the closest battle on the track right now. Just a few car lengths.
Well, Hunter Engrave just ran his personal fastest lap of the race, but Byron Daly ran the fastest lap of the race for the 2nd circuit in a row. Still in the 137.9s. Nick Goyette is in. So is Dakota DeMade.
Yeah, Daly is just putting in some piping hot laps right now.
He's cut the gap down to 3.5 seconds and now less. Hugo Galaz also down pit road.
Looking out the back of Engrave, you can see Daly starting to creep into some of these shots.
Yeah, the gap has come down quite a bit this lap. Yeah, I would imagine it's another heater.
Another few tenths at the very least.
Oh, that's a big one. 137.85. A 138.4 for Engrave. Is Jeff Groff going to pit from 3rd? João de Gregorio with the purple lap. So De Gregorio now up to 4th with Groff pitting. And he's coming alive at the right time here.
De Gregorio looking to run down Christopher Hill in 3rd right now. Was about 2.5 seconds back after the completion of that last lap.
So we talked a lot about the gap last week and strategy being the deciding factor here, and it certainly will. Oh, wow, Cody Claiborne has gone off track and smashed into a barrier, and he is probably going to be done for the night. But this one feels like Daly has the pace. There is a pretty good chance, I would say, that Engrave is trying to save something when they do come together here. But it certainly feels like pace is going to be the prevailing factor here, and not so much strategy.
Yeah, I don't think strategy will come into play nearly as much here. I mean, we're pretty far spread out right now. You just got to come in and put the laps in. You got to get to work.
It's another 4/10 for Daly over Engrave. Last time, it's under 3 seconds now. And another purple lap. I don't even know if I need to say it at this point. He's clicked off 3 in a row with Di Gregorio steal in the middle. Daly, for sure, pushing hard, though. Talk about high tire degradation.
Yeah, we're over halfway at this point, so maybe a bit surprising to still see the top 7 at this point have still stayed out. Expecting them to come in the next couple of laps, most likely, but still might be a few out there looking for that large overcut we've seen so many times this season.
Will Engrave try and go one up here? Will he try and beat Byron Daly to the punch and enter pit road this time? No. So will Daly trigger the undercut here? No. Jowdy Gregorio down pit road this time. Christian Jasper has been back down pit road. Christian Jasper between Engrave and Daly in first and second. Waiting to see how things shake out here, pit strategy-wise. A shade falls over at least the spoon portion of this course. Engrave trying to nurse a now sub 3 second lead with 18:50 left to go.
Pass on track. Coming up right now, Jeff Groff looking to get around Zach Flaum. Looks like Flaum had to come in on lap 1, so still has to make a pit stop here. So still 7 that need to come down pit road at some point.
Top 5 all bypass, so will J.J. Wang in 6th. Flaum and Groff. Groff the leader of those who have come down pit road. But Jowdy Gregorio about 5 seconds behind them, trying to get the tires up to temp here.
Now that I think about it, Flaum may have started from the pits this race, so as it hasn't actually taken a pit stop, it started in the pits rather.
Daly now 2.5 seconds behind Engrave.
And those two were dead even on lap times that last time around, so either Daly starting to lose a bit of that tire, or Engrave has saved a little bit more, or Engrave's just picked up the pace. One of the three.
I think all the three, to be honest with you. The tires are definitely going away. Yellow times across the board. Everybody's slowing down. But Daly has definitely, comparatively, slowed down a little bit more. At least the last couple of laps. Still Still eking into the time, though.
Fairly surprised that neither of them have come down pit road at this point, but also, I mean, you're going to come out on cold tires, maybe not wanting to get leapfrogged on the cycle and then try to have to make a pass because passing's pretty tough around here. I'm not sure.
Tanner DeFamis in from 5th. Daly last time was about half a second quicker than Hunter Engrave. This time, looks like sector times for Engrave have him about 0.3 up, at least for now. He's done a nice job maintaining as much as possible. So remember when I said strategy wasn't going to be the prevailing factor here? All of a sudden, it might be.
I mean, Engrave threw those 2 left-hand sweepers in a row that he just went through a couple of turns ago. I mean, got really loose on exit, and the tires, I mean, you could tell they were wanting to slide pretty easily.
Yeah, Daly much faster through the back half of the course than Engrave. It's all going to come out to be about a wash, though, as Engrave runs his personal fastest lap of the race. But Daly's still about half a tenth up. Yoshikawa in from 4th. So Engrave definitely saving here.
Yeah, personal best still being thrown up for Engrave and also J.J. Wang, who has yet to come down pit road. So pretty interesting there. Oh, somebody hard into the wall. That was Drew Such.
Oh.
Happened not too far in front of our leader there.
Was in 13th.
And I don't know if that affected Engrave at all, but Daly closed in a large amount there in the first half of this lap.
Yeah, he made up nearly a second. Daly is flying, though. Had a purple sector to open up this lap.
Oh, well, there's an off for Zach Flaum.
That's Flaum.
Di Gregorio. He's going to get through.
So will Yoshikawa.
And likely DeFavis as well. Yes, Flaum pretty slow right now. Not sure if there's more damage than we can tell, or maybe just a lot of dirt and grass on those tires, wanting to tiptoe it around there for a few corners.
Well, a green lap for Engrave, another personal best, but 0.3 quicker than that is Byron Daly. Here comes Christopher Hill from 3rd. And such is done for the night. Thanks to everybody that has joined us here for the season finale. This is the final feature of the inaugural season of the Super Series from Suzuka. This is shaping up to be a pretty good finale race here. Engrave looking for his first feature. Daly looking for what would be a series-high 3rd feature on the season.
Oh, pretty good lock up there for Engrave. Into the hairpin. Daly going to close in even closer.
2.5. With a pit stop to come for both of these drivers. Zach Flaum into the pits. Christopher Hill has leapfrogged Jeff Groff in the pit cycle. So Hill will stay in 3rd once things cycle out. At least we think anyway. But Groff is not too far behind. And in
Groff.
fact, 2 car lengths behind.
Yeah, he's closed in for sure.
And also closing in now under a second, Byron Daly. Ben Graves been saving. Now is the time to stop saving.
Well, unfortunately, I think he stopped quite a few laps ago at this point.
Yeah, Daly almost a full second faster than Engrave last time. If that happens again, it'll be Daly to P1. Jowdy Gregorio, purple lap. You might have a go for the podium here.
Yeah, Groff had a good look there in the last few corners of the last lap, but wasn't able to get it done. He's taking his time pretty good here with Hill. Doesn't want to make any silly mistakes. But Hill knows how to defend a racetrack.
Jeff, I think we had 15 or 16 running last week at Long Beach. We're not too far from that.
I think maybe only 14 right now after Such went out a couple laps ago.
Well, there you go.
Well, as Groff is not able to get around Hill, Di Gregorio starting to close in on both of them. So this could end up being a 3-way battle for 4th before it's all said and done.
JJ Wang in from 3rd.
And it'll be a 3-way battle for 4th. Or for 3rd, I mean. DeFavis and Yoshikawa side by side. DeFavis gets through for now.
And Byron Daly, half a second behind Hunter Engrave.
DeFavis and Yoshikawa will both move up a position. So DeFavis 6th, Yoshi 7th. If these two both come in, these two being Engrave and Daly, if they both come in together, I mean, I can just imagine one of them trying to push it a little too hard on the cold tires and maybe making a pretty costly mistake. Would not be anywhere near out of the realm of possibility.
Or pushing it too hard on pit entry. Easy to do here. It's an awkward and quick wheel movement that you got to make into pit entry. Daly might have a shot here into 1 and 2. Engrave moves down to cover it off. Engrave needs to be perfect through the S's. Under 10 minutes to go. Pit stop to go for the top 2. If Daly doesn't get through this time, does he try and trigger the undercut here?
I don't know. I think while you got Engrave in front of you, you try to force him into a mistake. But you don't have a whole lot of time to mess with here. They're only going to have another maybe 3, maybe 4 laps to be able to come in.
A lock up from Engrave and a wiggle of the rears there from Daly. Both these two are running ragged. Daly looking for a slingshot here down the long straight. Engrave gets the better exit, but Daly will have the toe. Gap is closing. Is it closing enough? Daly stays tucked in line. Is he looking for it into the triangle? Swings out to the left. Daly around the outside for the race lead. He'll take it. And he makes it stick. Byron Daly to the point. Byron Daly to the pits. Engrave going to stay out. Big lock up there on pit entry for Daly. Doesn't lead it across the line. But boy, that felt like a statement.
Wow, when you called it, Tommy, Daly doesn't get it done, but does come down pit road. But yes, that was... Excuse me, does get it done and still comes down pit road, I should say. Interesting call here.
Like you said, tires now got to get up to temperature for Daly. Meanwhile, Jowdy Gregorio trying to work over Christopher Hill here to take third. Well, it would be an impressive of a podium as we've seen all season for the reigning champ. He just clicked off the purple lap again.
Here's Daly out of the pits. New tires on the car. Where will the lap time be? Might have to tiptoe a bit more than usual. A little bit wide there through the hairpin. Not too bad.
I mean, honestly, his sector times really are not that much slower than Hunter Engraves right now.
I was going to say the same, and Daly has, pretty much said that he feels pretty comfortable on fresh tires as well.
Here we go. Engrave in from the lead. We're about to find out.
I mean, Daly has to have all the confidence right now. Certainly.
The last pit stall for Engrave. Car is up. Jack is dropped. Engrave's away. And there goes Byron Daly.
Daly comes out on top by at least a second. Might stretch it out a little bit more in these first few corners.
I mean, the first sector time for Daly after the pit stop last time was a 37-1. It's a 39-1 for Hunter Engrave. So Engrave lost 2 seconds comparatively. Gap is over a second and a half. Engrave had great short run speed to open this up, but unfortunately, so did Byron Daly. We'll keep an eye on that as Engrave's tires get up to temperature. Meanwhile, Christopher Hill still trying to fend off Jowdy Gregorio for what would be the bronze medal. And if things go bottoms up for these two, Jeff Croft not too far behind. I don't know, is anything going to go wrong, though? We haven't seen anything crazy tonight, that's for sure.
Wow. That was the Daredevil style. That first 2 or 3 laps, that was crazy.
Well, we ran Daredevil here, and we didn't see anything like that. That was another level of wild. This is one of the great rain circuits. Just imagine when they dump a bunch of rain out here next time we're here with FSS. Can you imagine?
I honestly can't.
I don't think these drivers can either.
After what I've seen today, I can't imagine.
Here goes Di Gregorio looking for it. To the right! Oh, boy! That was a squeeze if there ever was one. That was nearly disaster for these two.
Yeah, that was awfully close, and that's a high-speed section as well. If they make any contact, they are both likely paying the ultimate price.
They're headed back to the mainland in a box, more than likely. Yeah, gap is over 2.5 seconds for Daly back to Engrave. Engrave running some personal best sectors, but so is Byron Daly. Di Gregorio sizing up another opportunity here. Hill a bit long there into the triangle, and Zhao going to try and take advantage here. Down the long straight and into turn one once again.
Hill was able to defend well last time around. Di Gregorio's not even going to look to the inside this time.
Yeah, Di Gregorio got a bit wiggly there, putting the power down out of the triangle. Otherwise, it would have been his for the taking. Hill went about a car length and a half too long into the triangle. The mistakes are easy to come by here with this car at this track. It is a demanding circuit, but it is a favorite of the drivers. And probably a favorite of the viewers as well, I would imagine. A lot of highlight reel moments, to say the least, coming out of today. Under a minute. Danley going to be knocking on the door of the white or the checkered here. Can go either way. He's got nearly 3 seconds back to Hunter Engrave. And that gap continues to grow. Opportunities dwindling for Zhao Di Gregorio. As to the stripe comes Byron Daly. 1 lap to go. Hill and Di Gregorio side by side in the lockup for Hill. Hill will have a slowdown. He has the position, but will have to give it up. And Di Gregorio will move up onto the podium.
Hill will still have an opportunity to get that position back.
Has yet to clear the slowdown. Now it is cleared. So these two will continue to fight all the way down to the line.
As race leader Byron Daly over a 3-second advantage over Engrave after the late pit stops for both. And a nearly flawless drive here for the 66.
P7 on the starting grid. Overcame a not great standing start in the sprint. Right away, had the pace to be at the front of the field. Took him a long time to get there, though. No thanks to a great effort from Hunter Engrave and a great fight that he put up. 4 turns to go for Byron Daly. One driver with 1 victory, 3 drivers with 2, but only 1 driver will take featured checkers here in the inaugural season of the Formula Super Series. Byron Daly with a 3rd win of the season and a purple lap to boot. Hunter Engrave will finish on the podium, a P2 finish. And Zhao Di Gregorio with the pass there on the penultimate lap. The series champion will take a podium to close out the season.
And a nice drive from Jeff Groff to finish in the top 5 there as well.
Burnouts for your champion, Zhao Di Gregorio. We'll talk to him last. We're going to go out of order on the podium. We'll talk to second first, and then your 3rd place finisher / champion. But I do believe Zhao said this is his first championship. What an excellent job he did all season long, especially a bit of a hole to dig out of to open up the season. 2 sprint victories back-to-back, but 2 featured DNFs in those races. And long-awaited burnouts here.
He's going to blow it up.
Burn that mama down.
That Honda's stuck with him, though.
Well, the results are official as we follow Zhao through the S's, and I would imagine another full lap around Suzuka to celebrate. Let's give you the full finishing rundown here after an eventful and costly, if it were real life, race here at Suzuka. Byron Daly with the win, Hunter Engrave in second, and your Season 1 champion, Zhao de Gregoria, will round up the podium. We'll talk to all three of these drivers momentarily. Christopher Hill will finish in fourth, Jeff Groff in fifth, Tanner DeFavis in sixth, Nagisi Yoshikawa in seventh, JJ Wang in P8, Nick Goyette and Chris Valenzuela will round up the top 10. Dakota DeMade, Zach Flaum, Christian Jasper, and Hugo Galaz, the 14 finishers of this race. It is P15 for Drew Such, Cody Claiborne in 16th, Gavin Sanders, Caleb Bensi, Tiago Spencer with a disappointing first lap DNF, and Michael Costello round out your top 20. Sam McDougall 21st. Dave Payton going to be top am here tonight despite the lap 1 retirement in 22nd. Logan Spath and Dan Minglin, your 24th and final finisher here, as Drew White did not take to the grid for either race here tonight. So again, going out of order. So we'll start with your second place finisher, Hunter Engrave. First of all, congrats on the results here. Nice job on the P2. A spirited battle. Despite some of the separation between you and Byron, got a bit of wheel-to-wheel racing there for the two of you. But talk me through the race.
Basically just kind of on cruise control. Basically saw Brian started catching me. I knew I didn't have the pace for him. I was trying, had almost a few moments of oh crap myself. The rears were not hanging on very well at all. So I knew Brian was going to catch me and beat me. It was just how long could I stay ahead of him. And he caught me too soon. I was hoping till after the pit stops, but it was a good fun race. Once I just got in front, it was just kind of smooth sailing.
Matt, what do you got?
Oh, congrats on a good run. Take me through the start of the race for you. I mean, very tight track here, starting side by side. He didn't get a very good start. Had to make your way through a few drivers there on that first lap. How difficult are the start of the races here?
Yeah, the restarts are interesting. It doesn't help when your wheel decided to reset itself with the clutch bite point before the race. So I didn't get set up 100% how I wanted it, so I spun the tires a little bit at the beginning. Slid back to third, and I was just trying to kind of keep my P's and Q's for the first lap. And one driver kind of went off, and then the other one kind of went another turn went a little wider, and I just got back out front and just kind of smooth sailing.
Well, multiple podiums for you here this season, and a great run to close out things here at Suzuka. Congrats on another podium. Shout-outs for you here.
My mom, my dad, you guys for always doing an amazing broadcast. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss you guys doing this right now. And yeah.
Well, congrats on the win last night. Congrats on the P2 here tonight, and go celebrate if you haven't already from last night, and for tonight as well, and for a great inaugural season here.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
And now, your race winner for the third time this season, the only three-time winner in FSS in its inaugural outing, Byron Daly, going to take it in spectacular fashion here. Congrats on the win.
Oh, thank you. I was not expecting this today, I'll be honest with you.
Well, the first two laps happen. You survive. And then it becomes pretty apparent, even as you're trying to battle in and through the top five there, that you have some pretty significant pace, even on Hunter Engrave there. Just a lot of time to overcome. A lot to manage, though, trying to make passes, trying to not let the track win, and also trying to manage the tires here. I would imagine it was all a bit much throughout the evening.
Yeah, this is the first race I felt the tire wear was an issue. Like, to be honest with you, I kind of planned my pit stop on trying to basically overcut Hunter, but I was afraid he was going to run it till, the last available time to pit, and could be quite difficult to pass. But then fast lap got reset by, I think, Christopher Hill. And I knew he had pitted before us. So I thought, okay, well, tires, they must be worth it. His finally just came in. If I box right now, I could probably, use some push to pass and get the overcut done, which is what happened. I got the overcut done, and it was just smooth sailing from there. But yeah, first race that the tires really wore away, car was sliding everywhere. I was like surprised the pace everybody else was keeping up, and then they all kind of fell back to me. I was like, okay, cool.
Matt, what do you got for the race winner?
Yeah, I mean, congrats on the race win. It was a heck of a drive from you. Trying to work your way through the field. I mean, the first couple laps were just absolute chaos there. I mean, how much were you able to kind of push in the first couple laps, and how much did you just have to kind of wait for everybody to get out of your way off track?
Well, honestly, like I've had some terrible standing starts this week, and this race was no exception to that. So I was always playing from behind. I had to be aggressive just to make up the spots I lost just off the stand there, and luckily, like I saw the situation unfolding in front of me going into the triangle, and I kind of just let it happen and was able to pick my way through it. But other than that, like I had lost a couple of spots again, just getting up to speed, and really my only chance for guys to trip over themselves making their way through the field, which is what happened. So I feel really lucky on this one. Definitely, like Tiago had the pace to kind of just walk away with this one, and ended up having an unfortunate incident. So I'll take it though. It's sometimes it's not your day, and sometimes it is. So I'll take it today.
It's definitely your day here today, and a series high third victory of the season. Congratulations to you. Anybody you want to shout out or say hello to?
Yeah, just everybody who puts this stuff on. You all for broadcasting. Formula Super Series for putting the league on, and congrats to the Gregorio on the championship.
And congrats to you on the win. Best of luck in either FIS or whenever we're back here in the Formula Super Series proper.
Thank you.
And now, third place in the finishing order here tonight. But in the point standings, it is a P1 finish for João de Gregorio. It is series championship in the inaugural run here for the Formula Super Series. Congratulations.
Hi, guys. Good night. I don't have words to describe today. I had the most ridiculous spin ever on the first race. The car was just starting to oversteer, and my mind was so focused on get Caleb that the car was oversteering, and when I noticed, I tried to correct it, and it just oversteering to the other side. It was like, for me, it was like slow camera, it was the slowest spin that I have ever had here in Suzuka. But the second race was a masterclass. I loved that one. I even saved it on iRacing because from P22 to P3, it was awesome. I just have to say thanks. Thanks to my father that we had 2 weeks ago. We had like the most amazing experience that a virtual driver can ever had. Brazilian League did. We have here in Brazil a race called 1,000 Miles of São Paulo, and it happens always on the birthday of the city. And Brazilian League could do the event inside Interlagos. So we race on the virtual, but we were like inside Interlagos, up on the box. So it was like an amazing moment. So I got P2 on that race, and we received the trophy with the real race podium. So it was like a dream come true, and I really have to say thanks to my dad because it was a very special moment. Thanks to my fiancée that she allows me to race every single Monday. And that's it. I'm just very, very happy. It's my first championship ever. I always race leagues, but this is my first championship ever. And just a thing that I was thinking about. I want to do code sessions. I'm starting to develop a program about that. and I just invite everyone if anyone need. I don't have a price now, so I'm doing that just for free because I really want to develop the skills of that. So I just want you to leave this invitation here. If you want to do some coach, or if you want to know how to get a little faster on Formula cars. I prefer the Formula cars. I feel more comfortable on it, but I'm open to any request.
Well, first of all, I agree with you. This feature race for you was an absolute masterclass. 22nd to 3rd at a track as difficult as this, that is incredibly impressive. So, congrats on the run there. Second of all, I am incredibly jealous that not only that you went to Interlagos, but that you finished on the podium there, whether it was virtual or not. That is so cool. That is incredibly cool. So congratulations to you on that as well. Matt, do you have a question for Joe?
I mean, just a huge congratulations on the success of a season. I mean, it was kind of a wild season for you, Joe. I mean, you have some sprint wins, but not able to get a feature win, early on in the season. But just kept your head down. I mean, what was it like, going through kind of the ups and downs of this first season for you, and then winning the championship?
I think I have to be really grateful, to be really thankful to a woman here in Brazil. She's called Roberta. He is doing like a very good life coaching sessions. When your life is not the way it meant to be, and it's not like psychology. It's just like to put you on the right track in your life, and this helped me a lot because my mental gets stronger and stronger and stronger. uh it's not only on the league but on my racing officials. I could beat guys like Alessandro Quintalle. He's a very 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 fast guy in formulas. um had a very very big fight with Lee Zedwanger this week at Silverstone. And when you start to think, it's funny because it's like a thing that every guy that achieves something say, but uh, if you start to believe in what you do, you get like a little faster, even if it's like 1/10 per lap, or 1/10 in a pace, but you get comfortable and comfortable and comfortable. So I went to Long Beach knowing that I could win the championship, and for myself I already did before even this race start, because I was truly believed that I could do that. So I think the mental is very very important here in the simulator. It's not something that we talk a lot. We just talk about setups and telemetry and everything. But the mental here, it's something that I'm starting to experience, and that thing work a lot. Like we had a very very I had a very very good run at Daytona 24. My stint was faster and faster and faster. I got like a stint that I took the car on in fifth and delivered in second, like 1 second from the leader. So it's just mental. You have to learn how to drive, of course, but when you're racing, it's about mental.
Well, that is incredibly profound. Yes, I agree. Hopefully, everybody was taking notes there. Agreeing with you all 100%. And it's thinking like that wins championships. And you have won the championship here this season. Congratulations to you! Not only the drivers' champion, but also part of the team champion as well. And so you've thanked some people already. I'm sure the teammates didn't fare very well tonight.
Nah,
But
but the team did very, very great. Spencer is a hell of a driver.
Oh yes.
He's always pushing the bar up. So I'm trying every week to beat him. So it's very important part of the team. Norton did great as well. Besides, he didn't have so much time to practice because he do a NASCAR league here in Brazil, and when it's end, he enters on Super Formula. So He came from the NASCAR to do like 5 Latin race, So very, very good. And that's it. See you on next season. I think we're gonna change the car, but not the racing spirit.
Oh, that's great to hear, partner. Go celebrate the championship, and we'll see you back here for Formula Super Series Season 2.
See you guys.
That may be one of my favorite interviews that we've ever done there. That was incredible stuff there by Johnny Gregorio. And that is the kind of mentality that wins you championships. Everybody take notes. Incredible stuff. Thank you to Zhao for the time here tonight. Congratulations to him and Wave Italy on their respective championships. Congratulations to Navarre Luce as well. He was not here tonight, but he wins the AM Driver Championship. And wow, what a night here at Suzuka. That was a tale of 2 races. Great racing at the back half and absolute chaos and calamity to start.
Yeah, that was certainly a way to kick off a finale feature right there. I don't know. I think that this race tonight pretty much sums up everything we've seen, out of this Formula Super Series in its inaugural season, and very much looking forward to the return when it comes time, and looking forward to seeing if Wave Italy and Zhao can maybe defend those championships. There's a lot of great talent trying to chase them, and it should be a fun Season 2 to watch.
And indeed, again, Season 2, no definitive date on the calendar just yet, at least not the one that we've been made aware of. Late summer is the window, it's looking like. And again, between now and then, it won't be here on Turn 200. But the Formula Super Series is going to transition back to the original Formula Indy Series now that the IR18 is back in all of its glory. That will be broadcast with our friends over at Raceverse. They do great IR18 and open wheel content over on Raceverse. They are one of the most worthy subscribes that you could ever subscribe to. So go over to Raceverse, subscribe to them, watch all the great FIS action on Thursday nights, and then be sure to come over and watch our Thursday night broadcast with the Maximum Velocity CNC Home Designs Truck Series right after that. Great Thursday night doubleheader for all the sim racing fans out there. And speaking of great sim racing fans, who was hanging out with us tonight, Matt?
Yeah, lots of good folks hanging out tonight. Yuna, Jeff, Pamela Engrave, of course, TPCS. All of them were hanging out and enjoying the racing action here tonight. Glad that you were able to join us for the season finale. And if you're interested, we have plenty of more racing action on the channel coming up in the very near future, and would love to have you for it.
Absolutely. Tomorrow night, the Venom Truck Series is at the new configuration at Atlanta Motor Speedway. They are winding down their 7th season of competition, and things not quite very close, but that could all change tomorrow night at Atlanta Motor Speedway, where the racing will be nothing but close all night long. Gonna be a wild one in hot Atlanta. No action on Wednesday night. The Daredevil Series is off on Wednesday for Daytona qualifying, of course. Just kidding, it's Valentine's Day. Thursday night we will be in action, though. The Maximum Velocity CNC Home Designs Truck Series season opener from Daytona is what's on tap on Thursday evening. Sunday afternoon, the Porsche Mission Art Challenge will roll into Lime Rock Park. And then FSS is done for a while, so no Monday night action, at least not here on Turn 200. Matt and I will have some Monday night action, though, as drivers, and that is something that we've been looking forward to for a while now. But that's all we got for you here tonight. Cannot believe we went this far into the broadcast without mentioning that the Formula Super Series got Turn 200 its first ever berth into the iRacing Top 10. Forever grateful to this Formula Super Series group and to Zach Flaum and everybody in the upper management of the league and the Discord group as a whole for everything, all the opportunities that they've given us here to let us attempt to branch out into this new car and learn all about it and provide the folks here at Turn 200 some great racing to follow for the last 10 weeks. So thank you to everybody with the Formula Super Series and Formula Racing Series, and best of luck to them in their return season for the Formula Indy Series coming up here on Raceverse starting on March 14th from Circuit Zandvoort. But That's all we got for you here tonight. For everybody with FSS, for the GOAT, the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook. Until we meet again, we say so long to Season 1 for the Formula Super Series from Suzuka, where Byron Daly takes his third victory of the first season. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.